Hello friends! Today is an exciting day. I am so excited for this video because today we have a new patch. And it's not some boring old patch. There's like a ton in this patch. So in this video we're going to be going over everything that's in the patch, minus like the bug fixes. So we're going to start out in CAS because they added some new makeup. They collabed with MAC to make 12 fashion forward makeup assets. And they also recommended trying out uncompressed sim textures, which is if you go into game options under graphics, it's right here. If your game is already set to high or ultra high graphics, it should already be checked marked for you. Okay, so here we are in the makeup. They actually labeled the makeup MAC, which is really interesting because have they ever done that before? Or I'm gonna be honest, I'll never use this first one. The second one's kind of pretty with the like shimmery corner, but some of these colors, once again, I don't think I'll ever use. Well, this one's nice and subtle. I guess that like circle right there is really weird actually. That's not very subtle at all. But like the lighter colors, it's pretty subtle. So that's it for eyes. So for eyeliner we have, whoa, a massive winged liner, which looks like something you'd wear on the runway. Wow, these are very stylized looks. I feel like this could go really well with Get Famous, like if you were going to some event and you had some like really fancy dress on. So for cheeks we have this. It's really subtle, but oh, it's kind of like a contour. That's pretty nice. And then this is more of like a highlight, I guess. Okay, for lips, just some matte, and we got some shiny. And this one's like, the upper lip is a different color. I guess in some shades it's pretty cool, in others it's, personally, I think it's kind of weird, but. Okay, this is one that like kind of fades out. This can be pretty if you want like something kind of subtle. Okay, let's see what these look like on a darker skin tone. They actually look pretty good. A lot of them that didn't look good on the lighter skin tone actually look pretty good on the dark one. Like this looks really cool with the pink. The liners, I mean, those are gonna look the same. And then as far as the contour goes, let's see here. Some of them are kind of hard to see. Yeah, these ones are kind of hard to see. I know they're probably supposed to be pretty subtle, but. And then we have the lips. That looks cool. These ones that like fade from dark to light actually look really cool on the dark lips. So along with makeup, they also added stylized looks for toddlers. So let's see here. So more than 20 new stylized looks have been added for children and toddlers. Okay, using pre-existing base game CAS assets. Here we go. So here's some styles that they made from just base game assets. And then for male kids, they have this. I think that was already there, but let's see what they have for female stylized looks. Okay. And then toddler. Okay, so it looks like toddler is exactly the same except for this one. So you know how all the new worlds had these little tags that kind of described the neighborhood? Well, with this update, they added tags for the base game worlds as well. So that's kind of cool, and it kind of brings like a little life into the game. I don't know if that makes sense at all. I'm not actually going to go and read all the tags, but they're there. So next we're going to go ahead and take a look at build mode. One of the coolest things is that doors and windows now place on half tiles, and you can alt place them. So if you hold alt on your keyboard, you can place it anywhere, and that goes for windows too. So this is going to be a game changer. I also wanted to show you guys that we can now place plants and things like that closer to the foundation. I used to get so frustrated when you try to place a plant and it would just like bounce back at you. On top of that, we can also place terrain more easily around plants. You used to jump around, but now it is easy. So with this update, we also have ladders. We place it inside just like that, and there you have it, ladder. And you can also place these outside as well. So if we go here, and there you have it. And I think they adjust to the height of the wall. So I'm curious if you wanted to go up 2 floors, if that would work. Okay, so I'm having a hard time making it go 2 floors. So that's weird. I placed it down here by the foundation and it actually cut through the foundation and went all the way up. But if I move it to be on the foundation, it doesn't go all the way up. So that's interesting. So if you hold your mouse closer to the foundation, it only sticks to the foundation. And if you move your mouse out, it gets taller. If I try to put this here and I move my mouse out, nope, it still only goes one floor up when it's on top of that foundation. So the next thing they did is they made an off-the-grid category in buy mode. So these off-the-grid traits on these items will actually pull into the bill system and affect your bills. And they also said that fridges can now work off the grid as long as you keep adding ice to the fridge to keep things cool. And it says harvestables now grant unique buffs when consumed off-grid. And then in base game, you're able to gather water for your water utility from fishing spots. So we'll give that a try too. Then it says water can also be gathered from any world with swimmable ocean water. Water can also be gathered from snowdrifts if you have seasons. So I'm going to add off-the-grid lot trait to this house so we can test some things out. Okay, so here it is. Let's head over to this fishing spot and see what gather water is. Adds a small amount of water to your household water utility. She is about to gather water. So it looks like there's no animation for gathering water. It just happens. I'm going to replace our stove with an off-the-grid stove. Cook off the grid. So you have limited recipes that you can cook off the grid. But it did say that you had new recipes you could cook that you couldn't before. So I'm not actually sure what the new recipes are. So apparently if you have fitness stuff, the do you want some free earbuds thing will not pop up every time you start a new game anymore. It says it has been changed to a more passive TNS and gives your sim the earbuds automatically when it triggers. What the heck is TNS? So I had to look it up. TNS is actually just the stylized pop-up messages that happen. So let's see if it even popped up. I don't actually see it in there. And they don't have earbuds in their inventory, so I'm not sure if that happens later or what. So they also added where build mode items can grant gameplay effects. So for example, this gross wallpaper adds minor environment loss 1, and this one adds minor environment gain 1. And it does say that some of these modifiers will affect your bills and utilities by decreasing or increasing your power or water utility. So they've actually narrowed down the amount of phone calls you'll get from other sims. They said it was getting a little spammy. So they said that they've done a little tuning to rebalance the amount of calls you're getting. They've also made a new change where you can go here and go no trespassing and disallow certain things. So disallow vampires, that means no Vlad showing up at your door. Disallow neighbors, friends, and then solicitors. So this is welcome wagon and all challenge event NPCs. So if you don't want those people showing up, you don't have to anymore. So they also made a feature, instead of asking sims that are over to leave, you can actually just click send home and this will immediately send them home, no questions asked, no hard feelings, meaning that it won't decrease your relationship with them. Okay, the next big update is inventory. So I don't have a lot in my inventory now, but you are able to have a completely organized inventory. So if you can see here, you can filter it by pretty much anything. And then you can actually go here and it's all organized into categories. So if you're playing with the sim that picks up a lot of things, this is going to be super helpful for you. You can also click this multi-select on, and then you're able to select multiple things at once, and you can actually sell them all at once without having to drag all your stuff over and sell them one at a time like we had to before. And you can add things to your favorites. So if your sim is really good at a certain skill and you need certain items to be able to work at that skill, you can favorite those items and then they'll be easier for you to find when you pull up your inventory. The next really cool thing is the new bill system. So if you click on the mailbox, show bills information, it's a lot more complicated than it used to be. So you can see here our lot taxes are $300. We're using so far $6 in power. We're on the first day of play and we already have $6 in power. And then we have +7 water because we collected that water from the fishing spot. So I think there is like ways to manipulate your power and your water. I don't know about base game for power, so you might have to experiment a little with the power. But for water, you can pull it from a fishing spot or a swimming spot, and that will actually give you positive money to your bills. And then here we can see if we have a surplus of power, we have it set to auto sell, so it'll automatically sell that and we'll get that money. Or you can store it. Same with water, auto sell or store. So, and I can actually sell now, so immediately sell any stored surplus. That gave us $7. And then now we can see that water is gone since we sold it. I think this will open up a lot of gameplay options. It just might take some learning to see kind of how you can manipulate your bills. And actually, if you shift click your mailbox and click utilities, you can set how much water and power you're using. So I just noticed this too. Up here where the text box is for cheats, the ends like fade out now. So I just had her eat one of her Harvestables while living off the grid, and she got this moodlet +2 happy. Basically, she's happy that she was able to eat something that she grew herself. And I also did it another time, and she was proud that she was eating something she grew, but she had to poo real bad. So I guess it's not always a positive one. You could get the poos from eating your Harvestables too. Okay, and one of the biggest parts of this update is a new NPC, which is the firefighter. So if we wait for it to burn a little bit, the firefighter should come. And they said that when the fire breaks out, firefighters will come automatically, but you can call fire department if, I'm not sure if the fire alarm has to be next to the fire or not. In this case, they weren't coming, so I called them. Here they are, firefighters. I wish there was like a fire truck that pulled up, but there is not. No fire truck. Come and they put out the fire and then they leave and that's it. And they said that the firefighters will not come if you live in Sulani, since Sulani has their local fire brigade already. There you go. And now they're dancing to the music that's playing. Okay. So the Repo Man has showed up, and I wanted to point something out. We were playing as the adult, but it said that the toddler forgot to pay the bills for too long. So the bills were due Monday and it's now Thursday, so it takes that long for the Repo Man to show up. So here they are, the return of the Repo Man. Now they came with Discover University, but only if you didn't pay your student loans. So now the Repo Man is with the base game. So if you don't pay your bills, now the Repo Man comes. He's like taking notes of what you have. Goodbye, dresser. I wonder how much he'll take. Okay, so that is all he took. And it actually doesn't look like there's a negative moodlet from that. Alright guys, so that is it for the base game update. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for Friday when we actually get a whole new expansion pack and more things to look at. I will see you guys then. Bye!